There's a model that I live by that is very important to me is I hire very slow, but I fire very quickly. And I know it sounds a little harsh, but what I mean by that is if they're not a good fit or they're not going to fit your culture, a lot of times we stick to them, right? We hold on to those people. You need to get them out.
I've never thought of that before. Really, treating your employees right starts with charging the amount that they're worth, right?
Oh yeah, we got people from other companies who come to us and they just say, "Wow, like why are you guys so awesome? Like I was just with another company and they paid us short, our checks weren't coming in, and I was like, okay, no, like I totally get it, And usually when they give us the feedback is that it's like, wow, this is awesome. It starts with that. If I charge very low for my services, then there's no margin. At the end of the day, we want to do something that we really enjoy and we want to make money doing it. And if you do it correctly, you have to look at those margins. Help a ton of people in understanding that. Like when I mentor them is making sure they know where the margins are at and they price those correctly so that they could hire people, keep awesome people, and make money doing it, right? And that's how you automate your business by doing that. And we have found that that's a winning formula for us.
Love that. I want to touch on a point that one of our clients found as a success with when it comes to training, they found that they were answering like the same 20 questions every single time to train. So finally we convinced the client just make it like an FAQ doc that all your employees have access to and then put the question, the same question that they all ask. And then for the answer, just record yourself answering that question. And so that way, training the new employees was way more automated. They obviously they put a personal touch to it, of course. Like those same 10 questions that you told them, then they forgot, then you told them, then they forgot. They can just be answered in that document. That was really helpful to training, to automate that process. I love what you said about keeping good employees because as you know, and as bunch of people watching, training isn't cheap. Finding new employees is like one of the most expensive things most business owners have to pay for. And so if we can automate training, that will lower the cost. And if you can keep them, that will lower the cost as well. As you get more employees, you can always be trimming off the lowest performers who are hurting your business. And the only way you can trim out the people who are hurting your business is by continually adding people to the top, building that dream team. Right. So I think that's a really good way to find good cleaners, train good cleaners, and keep good cleaners. So
yeah. Oh, for sure. And there's also a model that I live by that is very important to me is I hire very slow, but I fire very quickly. And I know it sounds like a little harsh, but what I mean by that is if they're not a good fit or they're not going to fit your culture, a lot of times we stick to them, right? Like we hold on to those people. You need to get them out. And the reason for that is your top performers, right? There's that 20-80 rule, right? 20% of the people you hire produce 80% of your results, right? Like literally with anything. For example, like people talk about baseball, right? Who hits the home run? Not everybody. It's 20% of the team that hits 80% of the scores that are ran. Same thing with your team. So what does that mean is that awesome people want to be around more awesome people. So when you have someone that is not, I'm talking about you did training, you try to help them out, you develop them, you really try to work with them, and it's just not a good fit, or they're costing a ton of cancel requests, or they're not part of your brand. They're just not representing your brand correctly. Get them out. And then when you are bringing people in, don't just hire anybody that comes in and knocks, that wants an opportunity. No, sit down, have a good set of questions. And these questions are not like, what do you do for fun? No, what you're looking for is questions that are going to directly reflect the job that you need them to do. And do they have those values that you're looking for? Once you bring those people in, we tend to call A, B, or C players, right? I'm huge on books. Like I love it. And anybody that I work with or help, or anybody in my team, like I get them on these very quick. There's this one called Who that talks about that, right? A, B, C, D players. And there's a specific format when you're interviewing and talking about. But the biggest thing is trying to find those A and B players. Once you can get those into your team, sure enough, there will be some bad apples that sneak in, and that's going to happen. But you genuinely try your hardest to do a great job as the onboarding training, ongoing training, and continue developing. Even in the cleaning industry, that's something that's very important, whether it's morning trainings with them or evaluations, observations, going out with them, that's really well time spent. Like I spend money having people go check the jobs. That's important to me because it keeps our retention with the customers is high because they love it, right? Because we're doing a good job, or just by us simply knocking saying, hey, I'm here to make sure we did a good job. That's, well, wow, no one does that. Things like that. So by doing that, then you're able to retain awesome people and create a good culture. Through this whole process, things happen. That's normal. And you have to do is adjust, pivot, find solutions, and kind of go from there.
I love what you said. The best businesses, the cheapest client they will ever get is the client that they didn't lose in the first place. I could generate my clients hundreds of leads, but if they're losing hundreds of leads, their business isn't growing. So if they can keep the client, that will be the cheapest client they will ever get because they just never lost them in the first place. So.
Yeah.